99% of all pictures of Jesus in the black home and the black church and the black community has the European as our savior. That is a problem. Why? Coming from a psychological perspective, if you teach children that God is white, sooner or later when they become adults, they will assume that some of that godliness has attributed itself to all white people, and then it becomes more easy, much more convenient to accept second-class citizenship because if God is white, maybe that's why white people are in charge of everything. If God is white, maybe that's why most of the presidents have been white and all the Supreme Court justices, except two, have been white. Maybe I can understand racism if I look at it through the lens that God is white. But of course, we know historically Jesus was not white. He did not look like Barack Obama. He was blue, black, and purple. And how do we know this? Because every picture of Jesus Christ, every statue had him as a blue, black, purple African. In fact, the oldest picture of Jesus, which is still in existence in a museum in Ethiopia right now, he's blue, black, purple with nappy head, and so are all the 12 disciples as well. So we know what Jesus looked like. But when you study racism, when you study the rise of white supremacy, particularly in the Christopher Columbus age, you'll see that one of the greatest weapons that have been used against African people and all people of color, but I'm going to deal with African people because too often we get clumped into these labels of people of color where everybody else under the people of color umbrella get attention but black people. So I want to be clear, I'm unapologetically African. I am proud God made me an African. I don't want to be nobody else. But for those who are not African, I'm here to affirm you as well because I'm not a racist, I expose it. But too often being a black man in American social reality, whenever you are unapologetic about who you are, people automatically and intentionally misinterpret that to mean you are a racist. But let me be clear, no black person in this audience can be a racist. In fact, almost nobody in this room could be a racist except some Europeans in the room. Why do you say that? What separates racism from privilege? What separates racism from prejudice? I can be prejudiced, but I can't be a racist. What is the difference? Prejudice is attitude. Prejudice is deciding that I'm not going to trust this white person, I'm not going to trust this Chinese, I'm not going to trust this European Jew or this Arab or this East Indian because he's different from me. I'm going to go off of what I've heard. That's prejudice. I'm prejudging you. And that prejudgment is going to dictate how I interact with you. That's prejudice. And anybody can be prejudiced, but I can't be racist. Why? Because racism is prejudice plus power. To be a racist, you got to have the power to implement your prejudice in order to disadvantage other people's opportunities. I give you an example. If a black person makes a white person angry in America, it doesn't really mean much. But if a white person makes a black person angry, it doesn't really mean much. But if a black person makes a white person angry, it can mean everything. Because her father might be the judge that my brother has to go before for his sentencing. Her cousin might be my daughter's principal. Her nephew might be the banker that my mother is trying to get a loan through to purchase her first home. So first of all, we got to understand that racism is a group system. It is not about individuals. There's no such thing as individually racist people. Groups are racist against other groups. Why am I saying that? Because a lot of times you'll get good white folks who will say, well, I'm not a racist. Well, it's not about you. It's about the group. And in my own personal opinion, I believe that all white people are racist. But I want to explain what that means, because I don't believe all white people are bigots. I believe all white people are racist. What do you mean all white people are racist, but they're not bigots? Bigotry is when you want to systematically destroy another group. Bigotry is the N-word. Bigotry is, I hate those people. Bigotry is that emotional, religious type of hate. The KKK hate, that's bigotry. But you can be a racist and not be a bigot. In order to be a racist, you only have to believe in one thing. And that is what? That you want your group to continue to control and dominate and monopolize resources, privileges, and opportunities. That's all white people need to believe in to be a racist. And as a student of history, although I'm a psychologist and educator, I'm also a political science major from undergrad, I'm not aware of any Europeans who have ever systematically fought to give black people an equal shot. Yeah, you may have fought to make the schools better. You may have fought to change the laws in the prisons. You may have fought to stop police brutality, but have you ever systematically fought to eliminate the causes of the police brutality? Have you ever fought to eliminate the causes of the miseducation? See, in America, we did a lot with symptom management. They will manage the symptoms symptoms. Let's throw a couple $100 million at police brutality. But police brutality ain't got to do with money. It's about power. Let's throw a couple $100 million at the miseducation machine, but the miseducation machine is not really about money. It's about power. You would spend $250,000 in the schools, but you don't do nothing about the fact that 96% of teachers are white females, and that when they show up in the classroom with that black boy, everything they think of the black man comes out through their instructional energy. And that even according to the research from America's top universities, the #1 predictor of academic success in the classroom is not whether your father's in jail or your mother's on welfare. It's not whether you listen to 50 Cent or Lil Wayne. It's not whether you live in Bethlehem, PA, or the worst ghetto in North Philadelphia. The #1 predictor of academic success is whether you believe that child can learn. Give to black children, black male teachers. Now, I'm passionate about this because I'm a school psychologist. And so most of my time is spent giving what? IQ tests, achievement tests, visual motor tests, adaptive behavior tests, emotional screenings, behavioral screenings. I test so much I could probably give the test without the protocol. But the issue is, most of the children who come before me are not reading disabled, they're not math disabled, they don't have ADHD, and by the way, ADHD ain't nothing more than ain't no daddy at home disorder. Every other day I'm talking to African Americans who want to be Native Americans all of a sudden. I'm half Choctaw, I'm half Seminole. Won't even let you near a casino. You want to be Native Americans. That's how much we hate ourselves. A black person find out they got a little bit of white man to they act like they hit the lottery. My great grandmother was Irish. Guess what? I tell you a true story about that. When I was doing my pre-doctoral clinical at the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine, I had to do therapy with an Irish woman. Attractive Irish woman. She came in for therapy. And guess why she came to therapy? Center for Relief Therapy. True story. She came because her Irish mother, she had a baby by a black man. She came to therapy because her Irish mother told her that child is not welcome in my house. The little black girl, beautiful little princess, has never met her maternal grandmother and never will, because she does not approve of interracial marriage or the product of it. And this woman came to therapy. And I can't remember if I was assigned to the case because I was a black man, but either way, I ended up with the case. And my job was to help her come to terms with the fact that her mother was a bigot. Not just a racist. This wasn't about resources and privileges and opportunities only. This was about denying your own flesh because the father was an African. Why am I bringing this up? Because one of the things that I'm most known for in terms of controversy is the fact that I don't support interracial marriages. But I want you to understand why I don't support it. It's not because I think the white woman is less than the black man. And it's not because I think the white man is less than the black woman. The reason I don't support black men or women marrying outside of the race is because marriage is a financial institution. And under most circumstances, women live longer than men. So if Dr. Umar marries a white woman, when I die, she will inherit my estate. And what are the chances that that privileged white woman is going to do a drive-by on North Philly and drop off $1 million check for the black kids in the ghetto? She's not. And so the issue with black men marrying white women, and most of the time, it's a black man with means and a white woman without it. When he dies, she never invests that back in our community. So my question for black men who want to marry outside the race so much, why do you want to steal from your own and freely give to another group? Haven't they stolen enough already? It's not about hating nobody. It's about looking out for yourself. I would have no problem if some white man felt the same way if he went through what I went through. So white women in the audience, I don't hate you. I don't dislike you. I'm not going to hate you because my loyalty is to the black woman. And I say $50 million Africans, 50 states, and no state can I go and find a black-owned hospital, a black black-owned school, a black-owned supermarket, and a black-owned bank. A bank to invest in the people, hospital to save the people, supermarket to feed the people, school to teach the people. But you got $800 million for chicken, turkey, beef, and pork every year. Black women, you got $30 billion for weave and perm every year. But we ain't got no schools. Black men, your Timberland bill. You take your white girlfriend out for a date bill. We could use. No disrespect to the white Listen. Critical race theory exposes the hypocrisy and contradiction of America as the Savior. That's why it'll never work. See, one of the privileges that white people have, and all white people have, I don't care if you're poor white or rich white, you all got it. You do not have to be accountable for what your ancestors did to put black people in our current political reality. You do not have to answer for it. That's one of the privileges of being white. Yes, they did it to you, but we don't have to answer for it. And white folks love to tell me this. Dr. Johnson, I hear you. This is what they say. Dr. Johnson, I hear you, but my grandfathers owned no slaves. I can show you how my ancestors who came here from Ireland or Portugal or Sweden or France, they had nothing. They were dead and broke, almost as poor as yours. At no time did we ever own a slave. And I say that may be true. But now I have another question for you, liberal white person. Your ancestors never owned slaves. Can you show me how they never benefited from slavery, though? Every white person in this room, and I don't want you to feel bad, I'm trying to make you think, white folks, because one day you might be in a position to help one of my people. So I want you to think. I don't want to anger you or embarrass you. I want you to think. Every white person in this room benefits from the fact that black people are disenfranchised. The fact that so many black boys are in special ed protects privilege for your white son. The fact that so many little black girls are being miseducated protects opportunities for your white daughter. Every time one of us is done wrong, whether you were involved in it or not, you reap the benefits of the racism. It's not about what your family was in. Every white person who lives in America benefited from the enslavement of Africans. There's no exception to that. So what do we hold you accountable for? We hold you accountable for the fact that you know you benefit. You know that you get unequal opportunities. You know that you have unequal privileges, and you do nothing about it. That's our concern. It's not that you put a lash on my grandfather's back. It's that you benefit from the rape and the theft, and you don't do nothing to redistribute the wealth so it's equal. And let me be clear. The only way America can make America equal is to give African people our cut of what we built for this nation.
You say that all white people are racist?
Yes. Say that again.
It's necessary protection, but is there anything that white political allies can do to fight for American Africans to the point of individually with racist?
Great question. If white people would challenge the redistribution of wealth in America so Africans who built this wealth, the descendants of the Africans who built this wealth, can get their fair share, I would be able to tip my hat and salute to them. But up until now, I've seen no white organization or no white individual attack the causes of racism, attack the causes of the inequity, attack the causes of the discrimination and the violence. What they do is they attack symptoms. Let's deal with poverty. But why are black people poor? Let's deal with the prisons, but why are we in jail? Let's deal with the schools, but why are we being miseducated in the first place? You see, so what I see is a lot of symptom management, but I don't see anybody dealing with the cause. Joe Biden, after he signed the transgender bill and the Asian hate bill and gave the Afghan refugees $2 billion, he turned around and signed Juneteenth as a federal holiday. I don't need no damn holiday. I want resources and opportunities, but the president didn't care about that. And he was hoping that black folks would be silly enough to be comfortable with a holiday instead of some real resources and opportunities. Perfect. You was number 3. Who's my 4? You're 4? Go ahead, you got it. Yes, ma'am. We have 2 schools in Wilmington, Delaware. We have an elementary school and a high school, former charter schools. We purchased them in 2019. It'll be 3 years from February 7th. And hopefully next week the HVAC will come. And I'm hoping to have the school over by September of this year or next year. It's going to be independent. We don't take government funding, and we don't take handouts from non-African people. We believe in self-determination. As Pan-Africanists, we believe what is to be done for black people must be done by who? Black people, with no outside help. And why? Because we have to learn how to do for ourselves. It's not about hating nobody else. It's about learning to do for yourself. Self-determination. Go ahead. You want to open up a school? Okay, let me do this for everybody in here. Black or white. Take my number. If you ever need to reach me, you can. Okay, I'm going to give you my cell number. You ready? White folks, don't be cursing me out. I don't want no message. I knew I shouldn't have came to that damn seminar. Oh no, if I can help you, I help you. I help white parents all the time with their children. It don't matter to me. I love kids. I don't care what color they are. 215-989. 985. I'll repeat it twice in case one of y'all was a special ed. 215. I'll figure with you. 215-989-9858. Last time, 215-989-9858. If you want to reach me by email, DRUMAR, Dr. Umar, no period, DRUMAR, JOHNSON, Dr. Umar Johnson at yahoo.com. So you got my cell number that comes right to this phone, and you also have my email. Ladies, I'm old enough to be your father. It ain't that type of problem. We still have issues of sexism in the black community, but it is nowhere nearly on par with what you see with white people. What I want all you sisters to understand is your number one enemy is the same as mine, and that's white supremacy. The black man and the black woman should be fighting side by side. And right now, I'm getting concerned, because you know what I see? I see a lot of these YouTubians, that's what I call them, these YouTubians, making it worse between the black man and the black woman to come together. I'm seeing black men with podcasts, and they spend the whole podcast finding everything wrong with the black woman. And then I see black women with podcasts, and they spend their whole podcast finding out what's wrong with the black man. And I'm like, our children are looking at this. Do you want black girls to hate black boys? Do you want black boys to hate black girls? So I am an advocate for the unification, because there is no me without you, and there's no you without me. That's what I am about. And to that end, reality shows are one of the worst things that have invented in America. The reality show is destroying the respectable image of the black woman. I don't care which reality show you talk about. And I was once a guest life coach for Real Housewives of Atlanta, because they actually but them shows are no good, because they are conditioning black women to look like they're thirsty, can't keep a man, materialistic, 50 pounds of blonde weave. I'm tired of them shows. So gangster rap is destroying the image of the black man, and reality shows are destroying the image of the black woman. And why is this profound? We are the only people in the history of the world ever to voluntarily participate in their public genocide. No other people ever voluntarily desecrated their image before the whole world for a couple dollars. And that's what the gangster rappers do every day, and that's what the reality TV shows do every day. And if we don't stop it, the carnage against us is going to get worse. Study any genocide campaign. I don't care if you study Adolf Hitler's genocidal campaign against the European Jews, which was wrong. I don't care if you study the American genocidal campaign against the Africans, the Native Americans. What does every genocidal campaign begin with? A propaganda campaign to convince the world that we are all better off without these people. That's what Hitler did with the European Jews. That's what America does with black folks. Study any genocide. There is a public relations campaign to devalue the need for those people. we are helping America devalue our need in this world by constantly misrepresenting ourselves on TV and radio for money. If it was up to me, gangster rap would be, what's the word we look at? Banned. Not another gangster rap album, not another reality TV show, and I would probably ban the NFL and NBA too. Because the only people getting rich off the NFL and NBA are white girls, because they married all the black athletes. But anyway. Listen, interracial marriage is overwhelmingly black man and white woman. And then brothers, we get mad at the sisters when they end up with a white man. But here you are dating everything except a black woman. How you going to get mad at her for going outside the race when you keep going outside the race? And if anybody thinks interracial marriage is not economic, if you think interracial marriage is not economic, does anybody know a rich white woman married to a broke black man? I don't know. It ain't. It never will be. It is economically advantageous. And that's the only reason why they do it. And we need to stop it because our children need to see healthy examples of black on black love. Have you noticed you don't see black on black love on TV no more? You don't see Cosby Show, the Jeffersons, whatever happened to the black man and the black woman? They're making black on black love extinct, and we're doing it ourselves. Stick to your community, not because you hate anybody else, but God made you an African for a reason. Who are you to try to change it? And for my mixed race Africans, I see you no differently. You got a white mama, you still black. You got a white daddy, you still black. And I'm going to treat you like an African, and I'm going to hold you to the same standard as an African until you start acting like you ain't black. Okay? Because what I found with some of my mixed race brothers and sisters is they'll be black at the Dr.Umar event, right? Like, how? And then I see them Sunday at the white church, they act like they don't even see me with their white grandparents. And my thing is, and I know it's hard to navigate that world, being black and white, but you gotta understand, the world is always going to see you as black. You see the Colin Kaepernick show? Everybody need to go and watch the Colin Kaepernick show out. I didn't watch it yet, but everybody's telling me it does a good job of detailing the politics of being a mixed race African in America.